Welcome, folks. We're about to meet a star. No, not me. Put the camera on, my friend. Dr. Randal Pinkett. He is chairman and CEO of BCT Partners, New York-based consulting firm. You also know him as the winner of The Apprentice. The real apprentice, like the real good one, right?
They've changed the format. Now they have this celebrity edition. Some people like it, some people don't.
Yeah,
I like the original format with young up-and-comers chasing after an opportunity.
You did that right.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about entrepreneurship. Let's get right down to it. People may know you as a star, but I want to take what you know as a consultant, as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Can we promote this? You all right with me?
I'm not going to stop you.
Good.
I'm not going to stop you.
The No Money Down CEO, how to start your dream business with little or no cash. Randal Pinkett, go ahead, talk to us. How do you do it?
Well, let's be clear that I am a no money down CEO. I started my company with no money. I have 3 partners from Rutgers University.
Right.
We had nothing but a dream. And if you look at the tradition of how most companies are started, about 80% with the dollars of the founders. Now, that means we had nothing. So from there, you have to look at, well, how much does it take to get a company off the ground? And the numbers suggest that it's not that much, actually, that about half of all high-growth companies start with $20,000 or less. I get to think about that. And then 1 out of every 10 high-growth companies starts with $1,000 or less. So the rubber really does meet the road for starting a business in making something out of nothing. And the perception is you go out and get millions, you go to a garage, you blow it out the water, and then you're in some corporate office in Manhattan. But the truth is most entrepreneurs start with little, especially successful entrepreneurs start with little and figure out how to make something out of nothing. So the book, No Money Down CEO, is really a guide, it's a how-to, it's a step-by-step for how do you do it strategically, knowing that you're coming out of the gate with no money.
Randal, what are the most common mistakes people make as entrepreneurs?
Well, I think the biggest mistake people make is thinking that they need to go it alone. And again, I'm thinking about the typical entrepreneur thinking, I got to figure out how to do it on my own. When the truth is, look at every success story, there's always a team behind the story. I mean, Oprah had a guy named Jeff Jacobs, which people don't know. You look at
Everybody thinks it's Oprah.
Everybody thinks it's Oprah,
by
exactly.
herself.
Bill Gates had Paul Allen. Steve Jobs had Steve Wozniak. I mean, you go down the line, there's always an and to the name that we all know and love. And so I think the mistake we make is thinking that I've got to figure it out on my own, kind of pick myself up by my bootstraps, when the team is the better metaphor for a business.
Other stuff. What's interesting to me is that personal branding, I write a lot and think a lot about personal branding. Got a book coming out called You Are the Brand. But you...
Which is big nowadays.
Yeah, but
Very
talk
big.
to us, people talk about branding and people can say, oh yeah, that's the guy who won The Apprentice, but that's a piece of a much larger brand.
Absolutely.
What does brand mean to you?
Branding to
and what
me,
does that have to do with entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. Branding to me are the adjectives people immediately remember when your name or your company comes up. Do they think excellence? Do they think quality? Do they think about the services you offer, et cetera? And it is your proactive way of reinforcing those very adjectives. So for example, after finishing on the show, I sat down with my team and thought, well, what are the things that we want people to know me for? We want to look beyond The Apprentice. We want them to know entrepreneur. We want them to know speaker. We want them to know author. And so these are the kinds of adjectives that we now reinforce. And so I have 3 books and a 4th one coming. I have a multi-million-dollar company, BCT Partners, headquartered in Newark. I'm out speaking 2-3 times a week, taking tips from Steve Adubato on how to do that well. And these are things that people now know me for. And so I believe that now, 4 years post-Apprentice, that when my name comes up as a function of my branding, people think entrepreneur, speaker, author, and they hopefully think also somebody who serves the community.
You're also, 1994, I remember I interviewed you right out of Rutgers. You're a Rhodes Scholar.
And that interview was in my audition tape for The Apprentice. And so you know this.
Let me ask you a question. While Donald Trump and his people were looking at that, why didn't they call me?
They did. They didn't get you.
I know, because I got people. They couldn't get past my people.
That's
right.
But
I remember you told me you put that in your reel, demo reel. I was like, hey, that was good, because I remember meeting you, and I thought, you know what, this guy's got something special. Did you know, in all seriousness, that you're like 23, I guess?
22.
20, whatever it was. Did you know that, because confidence is a big part of successful entrepreneurship.
It is.
Did you know you had something special, or you're just a kid with a lot of ideas and a lot of energy?
Well, I think a combination of all the above. I think life for me has shown me the importance of really having faith in what you can accomplish and never limiting yourself. I think maybe early in my life, I may have set my sights relatively low. And that's not to say that they weren't already at a good place, but there's always room for improvement. And so through the Rhodes Scholarship, through winning on The Apprentice, through all of what I've done at BCT Partners, it just continues to reinforce for me the fact that there's always greater capacity of what we can accomplish. And I tell that to young people all the time. Is never set your sights too low, because you can often be the one that limits yourself in terms of what you can accomplish.
Let me ask you, you got a couple minutes left. Barack Obama, important part of this equation, particularly for African-American young men and women you speak to, talk about thinking big.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the recent studies show that African-American students are now performing better in school since Obama became president, which to me is a very powerful lesson. I have this vision of parents at home thinking to themselves, oh, you know, Johnny will never become president. And then Barack Obama said, you know what, Johnny? You can be president. So
right.
You need to get to work. You need to take it seriously, because now we have that role model we can rally around. And it does suggest that, again, the sky is the limit. So it is an important part of the conversation, and I think having more and more role models in all venues, in our communities, on our televisions, in our politics, in our businesses, that's all part of the conversation. And you're big on mentoring, you know this.
Yeah, let me ask you. Passion is huge, because one of the things I saw you, when I saw you do the show, and every time I've seen you speak publicly, and I think about you, I think passion. You get knocked down, you get rejected, all kinds of stuff happens, right? People don't return your calls. Even you.
Very true, very true.
Passion and resilience.
Yeah, I mean, those to me are the characteristics I talk about in No Money Down CEO, about the entrepreneur's mindset. You know, it's resilience, it's passion, it's creativity, it's innovation. And those are the defining characteristics of the 21st century, that in this new economy with jobs being scarce, that everyone must appreciate what it is to think like an entrepreneur, whether they run a company or not. Because
That's right.
there's that spirit that sustains you through tough times and helps you to survive in good times.
Tell you what, the No Money Down CEO, How to Start Your Dream Business with Little or No Cash, by Randal Pinkett. Dr. Randal Pinkett. I'm proud of you, man.
Proud of you.
Keep it up.
Good to see you again.